So today marks a year exactly since I left my job and become a full-time reseller. If you're new around here, I've been reselling for about 5 to 6 years, and I got fed up of being employed by someone else and decided to take the leap of faith and do my own thing. Well, I say do my own thing. Me and Tel actually left our jobs at the same time, weirdly, coincidentally.
Best thing we ever done.
Yeah, and it has been the best thing we've ever done. I've ever done. I think Tel thinks the same. We
100%.
just got fed up of working for someone else and sort of being told what to do all the time. So took the leap of faith, and I haven't looked back once, to be fair. There's obviously a lot of struggles in being self-employed. You don't get any sort of sick pay, don't get paid when you're away. Although in the reselling game, you do still make money when you're away, but you just make a bit less. You have to. So what I do with eBay is I schedule things in advance and stuff like that. I know Tel does the same with Vinted. He likes to schedule in advance, draft things up and stuff like that. So there is ways around it, but obviously when you work for someone else, you switch off, don't you? You don't have to worry about things like this. But there's obviously a lot of pros to being self-employed. You work when you want, when you don't want to work. You're your own boss, aren't you? In a sense, you just do what you
definitely.
want.
Your own boss, and you find, I find that working for yourself, you generally put more effort in.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to depend on yourself.
Yeah.
So
No
if you
one to
ain't
fall back
working and you ain't making money,
Yeah.
then you're not working hard enough.
Who's going to pay for you? Yeah. And I think that's the thing I like most about being sort of a reseller. I don't like the term reseller. I hate that. Buying and selling. It's the self-accomplishment of whatever you've bought in here, you've gone out and bought. So whatever you make out of it, you've earned that, if that makes sense. Without you going to the car boot sale, the auction, you picked it up, haven't you?
Well,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and not only that as well, it's nice to see, like I said, we've completed our first year of being self-employed, and it's nice to see how far you've come in that year, i.e. when me and Ash started, we were reselling or buying and selling, however you want to call it, but we started off on a small scale, i.e. working from our home, using a spare room, and we've upgraded ourselves. We've gone from a bedroom to now a 20-foot ship container, stacked to the nines of new stock, and it just keeps growing. And I think that's the most important thing. You can see the growth that you've made over the last year. And listen, we're here a year later, we're still making money, we're still doing well for ourselves, and we're obviously doing something right.
Yes, and I think that's it. It's positive. There's obviously there's positives and negatives, but it's good. We're enjoying it. I don't think either of us regret taking a decision.
No,
and I think the only way is up. I mean, when I made one of my first YouTube videos, and I was in here, and it was a bit, it's a bit daunting. You've gone self-employed, you don't know what you're doing, and to get to this part now, it's obviously going really well. It could have gone tits up. Touch wood, it hasn't yet. Touch a lot of wood, we're still here.
We're still breathing.
And I think, like Tel said, it's the growth. The growth is good. So it could be by the time I make this video next year, of 2 years of being, self-employed, we might be in a bigger unit. We might have grown even more and got to a bigger place, more items listed. Doing lots of stuff. Maybe even doing wholesale.
That'd be nice.
It's something that we've sort of, or Tel especially, has looked into, thought about, maybe putting the wheels in motion to get his own wholesale thing going. But yeah, overall it's been very positive. So one of the most popular videos on my channel was when I first moved in here, and I sort of set goals that I wanted to set. And I think one of the first goals was I wanted to get up to about 1,200 listings, if I remember correctly. I was just looking for the video on my phone, but I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't bother to go through it. But I'm now currently up to listings. I'm up to 1,300 listings now, so I've accomplished that. I did set out that I wanted to get to 1,000 subscribers, and by April, like by today, and I've done that really quickly. It was amazing. I think we're currently up to about 1,600, which is great. I think another goal going forward, I think me and Tel have sort of spoke about it over the past, well, mainly over the past couple of months more than ever, is hopefully looking to get a bigger unit with things like electricity, a toilet, a car seat.
More so I think the necessities of
the necessities.
A year ago, as we mentioned previously in the video, that we started off on a smaller scale, and I think the pair of us, I think more so me, has been pleasantly surprising how fast it's grown. And not only that, but how much our stock inventory has grown.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's grown like massively, I think, and that's the main push for obviously without growth in your business and without sitting on like large amounts of stock. You don't realise it on a day-to-day basis, but when you look back on your first year as a sole trader, I suppose, you could look at it and really see how well you've done. And I think for me especially, that gives you that drive to now want to grow even more for the next year. And as we said, possibly step into the realms of wholesale. Obviously we meet a lot of people out on the road, like we're out buying 3, 4, 5 days a week. You make a lot of contacts, you make a lot of friends, and like Ashley said previously, reselling and a reselling game can be quite a lonely business. Like you want to make friends and you want to make contacts, but at the same time, what your niche is your niche, and sometimes you want to share it, but you don't want to share it because it is the reselling game is dog eat dog. Whereas me and Ash, we met through business, but then it's nice that we've managed to, I say, blossom in inverted brackets into a friendship of you share a same love for the job,
same passion.
Passion. And listen, I've learned things off of Ash. Like I've picked up things that I would never have picked up. Ash has picked up things that maybe they've done a lot better than what he expected them to do, because he didn't know at the time. So it's all a learning curve. It is a massive learning curve. The reselling game is a learning curve, and you never stop learning. That's one thing you never do. And Asher said to me plenty of times, like, my main game is trainers. That's what my passion is. I've bought and sold trainers for over 15 years. That's what I enjoy doing. And Asher said on numerous of times, it's good to try pick up different things, like broaden your horizons, try something a little bit different. And you know what? There's certain brands of footwear that I would never have picked up in the past, and now I pick them up because they're good.
Now you aim for them.
Now I aim for them. I aim to look for those things, and I think you can never beat the buzz of whether it's a charity shop or whether you're looking for stuff online, or my passion is boot fairs. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what the day's going to bring, and I think that's a part of the excitement of doing what we do.
Yeah, it's always a learning curve. Always a learning curve. I mean, I do live videos now and then on YouTube, and I get people coming along and saying hello, and I'm always learning from them. When they go, "Oh, I picked this up the other day and I sold it for X amount," and I think, nice, I'll look out for that. Things that, you know, we're not all going to know everything. Unfortunately, no one's brain's that good. I mean, there's people that have been in this game for 30, 40 years, and they end up finding a niche. Do you know what I mean? Like Tell loves trainers, so now we go around car boot sales. Most of the time, if I'm in a different row, I'll end up giving Tell a bell and going, "Look, there's some trainers here." I won't even bother picking them up myself. So it's good to know people. It's good to get contacts and stuff like that. And there's always going to be stuff out there for you to learn. That's why eBay, I think, is great, because you can go on your solds and stuff like that. And your Google apps, stuff like that. It's just great. There is so much to be learned, and I think we're learning every day as well. There's stuff that we pick up and you think.
Listen, you learn every day. You honestly do. You do. Like over the past year, like through me and a group of friends, like we found a bit of a passion for like hiking, climbing, and there's brands of footwear or ranges and brands of footwear that I particularly would have went out and I never would have looked at. Like Merrill or Solomon or like your Gore-Texes and things like that. People will know there's higher end, there's specifics of certain brands, but it's all a learning curve. You're always learning. You're never going to stop learning. Like on a day-to-day basis, something that Ash might pick up, and we've done it. I've looked at him and gone, "Really? You're going to pick up X?" And he's gone, "Yeah, mate, I'm going to pick it up. There's good money in that." And I've been flabbergasted by some of the returns. And listen, I'd never put anyone off trying it, but you're going to get. The only thing I'd say with a reselling game is it's a very unknown. Month to month is different. Like, don't gauge if you're new to reselling or you want to get into reselling. One piece of advice I'd give you is do not give up over the months of December and January, because I guarantee you they will be your quietest.
Absolutely.
A lot of people this year that we know of have all turned around and said, "Oh my God, I never expected it to be this quiet. I expected these months to be my busiest." And it's kind of put them off a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You're always going to get quiet months.
Yeah.
Me and Ash have quiet months.
Yeah.
Like there's months where like you could smash it one month and the next month you think, oh, I didn't do as much this month. What have I done wrong? You've done nothing wrong. The market is just so fluctuated.
Yeah.
One thing might be fashionable today, like for me, trainers, certain brands, certain models, certain sizes.
Yeah.
I'll stock up on them, and then a week later I'm thinking, why ain't they sold? Like last week they were absolutely flying out. This week they're not. But it's just a waiting game.
Yeah.
It is honestly a waiting game. If you can pick things up cheap enough, and you can afford to, and you're willing to sit on them for a little while, you're always going to make money. There's no doubt you're always going to make money. But don't make big money and not reinvest that big money, because otherwise you're never going to grow.
Yeah. You got to put your money back into the business 100%. At the end of the day. Yeah, and I think that's a good touching point, especially on certain things like trainers. I think a lot of the time you're following the hype. The hype is good if you're like at the minute like Gazelles, anything chunky,
anything chunky like trainer wise for me, like Gazelles, Spezials, Sambas, anything
Adidas
anything Adidas at the moment. The old retros are coming back. Like Nike at the moment are bringing out some really good models for the summer, but then also your run-of-the-mill stuff that for me used to do really well. Obviously Yeezy, that's just plummeted. That's the arse has fallen out of that. And Jordans, like Jordan 4s, etc. You used to get really good money on them, but don't worry, if you've got them, don't let them go cheap unless you want to, and it's just a quick flip for you, because it will always come round. Prices, fashion, they always come back round again. And listen, if you're into the reselling game or just show a passion in reselling anyway, you'll know the market, it's up and down all the time. One thing that's fashionable tomorrow ain't going to be fashionable next week, but it always comes around again. I think that's especially in the fashion game. The fashion game is a big. I mean, when I was a kid, half the stuff that people wear nowadays, you wouldn't be allowed to wear out. All these. I mean, the baggies in the 90s, it was fashionable. And then growing up in the 2000s, you weren't allowed to wear baggies. Well, towards the later of the 2000s, and then in the 2010 upwards, it was all skinny jeans and everything. Exactly. Like everyone went for a stage of wearing skinny jeans. Then everyone was kind of like wearing like drain pipe skinnies. And then they went through, all right, well maybe they're a little bit too tight now, to a point of, I remember some of my pals, they couldn't get jeans skinny enough in men's, so they'd wear women's. And then it's Levi's done it, and then obviously Levi's then flipped it. Well, all the women now want to wear loose fits, and they started wearing boy fit. Now you can't go, like we live like local to one of the biggest shopping centres in Europe, and everywhere you go now, like I've never been a guy that likes baggy jeans, like to a certain level, but now you can't go anywhere without them. And it's just fashion. Fashion changes, and as fashion changes, your mindset needs to change in the reselling business. Because if you don't go with it and you don't move with it, you're going to get left behind.
Like we got a lot invited along to see the guys at Fleek in London a couple of months ago, wasn't it? Or Tel did, and I tagged along. I mean, as you know, if you watch along, I don't really buy clothing, but it is crazy to see what clothing sells for nowadays. That things that you would never pick up or I wouldn't personally pick up in a million years, and that's why I always get stumped. I know I say that I like to be away from clothing and footwear, but if it's there to be picked up, it's there to be picked up. It's all, you're always learning. You're never not going to learn.
Well, Ralph did it this year, didn't they? Like Ralph's always been a pretty stable brand for most whatever buying new or to resell. But like this year, Ralph cable knits and Ralph quarter zips went absolutely mad this year. Like mad. Like we were speaking to the guys at Fleek and different places, and they were saying like it's the sort of stuff that if they'd known it 6 months ago, they could have got more of. But the thing now is, I think a lot more people want to be in the reselling game, and they want to resell and they want to make a profit, but sometimes their knowledge isn't good enough to go out and source it themselves. So they're using a lot of companies, like vintage supply companies, that will do them bundles, and you can get this, you can get that. Listen, I'm not going to put anyone off going out and going to a wholesale company. That's fine, but you need to know what you're getting. You need to. There's no better feeling than going out and being able to source your own stock. You can look for damage. If you're
handpicking,
handpicking is the way forward. But if you're going to do it, you've got to put the effort in. If you don't put the effort in, you can't be going out maybe 1 or 2 days a week and expecting to come back with the goods. It's not going to work. It's consistency. Like you need to be listing every day. You need to be making sure your photos are clear. You need to be honest. Like people don't mind if something needs a wash or something needs cleaning. they don't mind that, but you just got to be honest with them.
Yeah, don't lie on your phone.
90%, 90% of the stuff I buy, 90% of my trainers, Ash thinks I'm mad, but I clean everything myself. Everything I clean before I sell it.
Yeah.
I clean it because then I get the best out of it. Yeah, okay, you might think, well, having to clean every pair of trainers you get might be a bit of a chore, but if I'm nicking an extra £5-10 on top of every pair of trainers that I'm selling across a year, you guys do the maths, it soon adds up. And where I can look through the dirt or the marks or the stains or whatever, the majority of the time, most of these people will leave that stuff behind because they don't want to put the time and effort into doing it. And like, listen, Ash has said it to me, I've said it to Ash.
Oh, I'm lazy.
Like, Ash will pick stuff up.
Like these, I've had these picked up for ages now.
Ash will pick
Great
stuff
pair
up.
of trainers. I'm
and
lazy.
Listen, we're friends in the same game. So if he's got bits, I'll say to him, listen, mate, I can see through the dirt. Well, I'll just get rid of them cheap. Why? If you've paid peanuts for them, give them a little spruce up. If you're nicking 15-20 quid, 20 quid's a good profit. If you reinvest it, if you're selling 5 items a day, for example, 5 pairs of trainers a day, if you're nicking £20 a day, that's a nice bit of profit for anyone to make. Now, whether that's a side hustle, if you're working a full-time job and you're trying to get into it, or if it's your full-time job, the more effort to make, the more money you're going to make. And it's proven. We've done it. The pair of us have done it over the last year. We took the jump, and this is where we're at. We've grown. We're looking to get a bigger unit already. Our stock's got bigger. What we're sitting on. So it's all systems go and all systems forward. And hopefully, if we get the chance to do another video in a year's time, we'll be selling wholesale, and some of you guys might be coming to buy some stock from us.
And if you guys like content of cleaning stuff, I'll leave Tel's TikTok content. Let me get my words out, Ash. I'll leave Tel's link to his TikTok in the description. He's going to start making sort of POV cleaning stuff. I keep badgering him about it because he's talented at what he does, and he don't put it on there, so he needs to. So go over there, follow him on TikTok, send him some abuse, tell him he needs to start uploading more, and then you'll see a lot more of what he does and the magic that he produces when he cleans trainers. But Tel and I are going to crack on. We're going to get some more work done. But I just want to say thank you for everyone who's tuned into all the videos, anyone who's come along to the lives. You know, it's been great. The channel's grown massively, more than what I could even expect. So thank you very much. And if you're looking to getting into reselling, there's always people to reach out. There's so many videos on YouTube now of different content creators that you can watch. So go out there and do your research. If you're looking to get into reselling, watch videos. There's some. That's how I learned. I used to watch loads of people. I watched, you know, Ricky Resells, Retro Reselling. I watched Stacey, Recovered Riches, John. There's loads of people out there. There's so many out there. Just learn, and the more people you watch, the more variety of things you'll find that are worth money. Because, like for example, I buy all sorts of different stuff. Tel buys trainers. I don't know a lot about trainers, but I know what Tel picks up. So then, if I do see stuff, I can pick it up. There's avenues out there to do so much research. So, and most of us just sit indoors and do nothing all night, don't we? So
this is
get
the
on
thing,
YouTube.
like I said, listen, again, if you're looking to get into it, any reseller out there that's confident about what they do and how their business works and what their niche is, will always be happy to give other people advice.
Yeah, always.
If you're asking people for advice, and they're either being very cold or giving you the cold shoulder, or they don't really want to tell you too much, that's because they're not confident in what they're doing themselves, i.e. they don't feel they're in a position to give you advice on reselling when they haven't quite cracked it themselves. Now, that's not to say that what we talk about or the advice we give is 100% kosher, like go with us because listen,
we buy crap as well. Trust me,
listen,
we buy crap.
We all buy stuff that we expect to make money. Now listen, even if it's a couple of quid on top of what you paid, it's a couple of quid extra in your pocket that you didn't have before you bought it. So never be afraid to test new waters and try new things. But if people are out there that catch Ash in his videos or have seen me today and have said, oh, trainers, I have a passion for it, I wouldn't mind getting a bit of advice, hit us up. Like I said, you'll have our socials in the video, our TikToks or our social media platform. We'll always reach out because listen, we started somewhere, and somewhere along the line, someone gave us advice or gave us little pointers on how to start. And we're just those two sort of guys that will always try to help someone else out.
I mean, Ricky Resells, I'm an avid watcher of Ricky Resells, and I used to pick stuff up all the time, and I think I buy a lot of similar stuff to Ricky Resells, But when I was first getting into it, I used to message him all the time on Instagram, probably doing his nutting, and he's thinking, why this geezer leave me alone? But he was always helpful, and he sorted me out a lot. He's a top bloke, Ricky. But same, I always get messages, you know, if I can help you out, I'll do my best. I mean, I don't claim to know everything. I know very little in this game, but if there's something I can help people out with, then I'm very happy to lend my time if I can. Do you know what I mean? But I think that's good for us. We're gonna love and leave you. We're gonna crack on, and thank you all for the support. It's been great, and we'll catch you all in the next video or at the car boat sale.
Cheers, guys.
All the best, guys. Take care.
See you later.
Ta-ra.